What's up, TTFF people, and welcome to the Tucson Family Food Project. I am so excited for this week's recipe. I'm 50% Julia Child, where I'm teaching them how to cook, and I'm 50% Mr. Rogers, because it's like all love to the kids. This week, we're making a classic recipe that is absolutely essential for any home chef to know. The Tucson Family Food Project is a nonprofit that fights childhood food insecurity, but we do it in a totally unique way. If you haven't noticed, we use a lot of zucchini. And that's because it's an incredibly versatile, low-calorie, and nutrient-dense food. But today, we're gonna use it to make veggie enchilada casserole. So let's get cooking. I had an epiphany and I was like, I have nieces and nephews that are on YouTube all the time. And I was fortunate enough to take home ec in middle school. And I was like, why can't we teach home ec to kids in their own homes through YouTube? We make one extra meal kit every single week, and I teach the kids step by step that recipe that is in front of them. Here's exactly how you put it together for yourself. The core concept of the program is the saying, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach him to fish, feed him for the rest of his life. And the idea is that instead of just handing out food, we're actually building life skills and we're teaching kids resilience. And then it's gonna go into the oven for 35 to 45 minutes. The big why behind this is all of the detrimental effects kids suffer in school when they don't get enough to eat. And the reality is that food insecurity, when they come out of school, it's gonna really limit the kinds of jobs they can apply for, and it leads them into poverty. And one of the only things we know for sure is poverty creates food insecurity. And it's this vicious cycle, and it's really, really hard to break. And the big underlying why of the Tucson Family Food Project is that because it's a fixable problem. So there it is, vegetable enchilada casserole, certified delicious.
Not quite that much.
Generally on Monday, I figure out what the recipe we're gonna do is. I figure out the ingredients that we can procure, and we'll put together a master ingredient list. We'll figure out everything that we need, the quantities that we need to either provide for our volunteers to portion out, or we just need to go out and buy. And so it looks different every week depending on what the recipe is. So on Tuesday and Wednesday, the volunteers do all of the prep work.
Today, I was chopping up zucchini and also onions. I've been doing volunteer at different places, and we're just like the head people just watch over you. Everybody works together for the good. You know, everybody participates.
On Wednesday and Thursday, I film and edit the video. And then on Friday, that video gets posted first thing in the morning. And then on Friday, we all meet here again and the volunteers assemble the meal kits. We load them all into insulated bags and onto our refrigerated delivery truck. And then on Friday, after we pack them, they all get delivered to the schools. What's up, Longhorns? They get out of school, they pick up their meal kit, and then they go home and they cook dinner for the family. It's like a dinner a week the family doesn't have to worry about. It's free. The recipes are designed around that, to use just these very simple things that the kids should already have at home. And if they're missing that stuff, we do collection events around town, and we'll actually collect pots and pans from the public and give them to the kids who need them. When I started, I had a group of 7 volunteers, and now we're up to, I think at last count, we are just above north of 60 volunteers that we use every week. It just brings in good people. And honestly, it's one of those things that kind of like refreshed my faith in humanity.
Steve came to our HOA and told us about it, and I always like to give back and do some volunteer. I'm retired. And when he told us about this, it just resonated with me. You're teaching them how to do something instead of just giving cans of foods or something like that. You're actually teaching them how to make a dinner, because we have different spices and stuff like that. So they learn different ingredients and how to eat healthier, not just snacks and just something convenient foods, how you can put together a meal.
We took these really sustainable steps, starting with just 20 kids a week that I was feeding out of my own home kitchen. So now that we're up to 260 kids, we're hearing from teachers that they're seeing behavior changes in the kids in as little as 2 weeks of the start of the program, and that those behavior changes are manifesting themselves in kids raising their hand and finding their voice and building their confidence. We hear it from the kids that they love doing it, that, you know, they look forward to going home and cooking for their family, and they find this sense of accomplishment. In June of 2026, we leased out 2 buildings from Tucson Unified School District. Each building is about 3,500 square feet. One of them we have already converted into our admin space, so that's where we film the YouTube videos now. And then the other 3,500 square foot building is basically just a big shell. And we're turning this 3,500 square foot building into a large scale production kitchen. So we're going away from, you know, volunteers and cutting boards to pieces of equipment that can produce hundreds of pounds of vegetables an hour, like big stuff. So our volunteering program will kind of change to learn how to use this equipment. But the long-term goal of this program is to do exactly what we're doing and utilize closed schools. There's about 8,000 closed schools estimated in the country right now. They have existing infrastructure we can retrofit, and we can adapt that to what we need to produce food. And the idea is that once we figure out how to do this in Tucson, that's the template, and now we can grow it wherever we can. I love, appreciate, and respect all of you, and I will see you right back here next week with another delicious recipe. So until then, peace.
Hi, I'm Tom McNamara, host of Arizona Illustrated. Thank you for watching this story from our show. And for more local content from Arizona Illustrated, just click right here.